Hey guys, welcome back to the Prehistoric Life Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Crawford, and welcome to Jurassic Legacy. Today we're interviewing this lovely lady over here. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Lottie. I go by Animact on social media. But I love talking about the Jurassic franchise. I mean, on my accounts, I usually talk about Camp Cretaceous and Chaos Theory, but I love the whole franchise, honestly, and I love dinosaurs in general.
And we got that dude. You guys all know him. Would you like to introduce yourself again?
I mean, must I? Must
I
I?
don't really think you need it anymore.
No, I don't. I don't. I'm saying this to everybody. This man's so nice. He tolerates me here. He charges me no rent. This is just going wonderful. So I'm just going to hang back here today, and then we're just going to enjoy this lovely new person's company. So, Lottie, how are you? How are you today?
I am so good today. I'm very good, very awake, I promise.
Oh,
What made your day
no
Yeah,
good?
doubt.
ready to get
Care
into
to
it.
enlighten us?
Oh,
Hmm?
now that's a little bit of
Enlighten
self-plugging
you,
there,
Bob.
mate. If I've seen that before, bro. That was ready on that.
God, honestly, I mean, social battery is just done for today, honestly.
I can
All right,
understand.
so let's go ahead and dive on into this. Let's just get
Get it out
this,
of the way,
get the
as if
big,
as
Let's
if you
just
as
do
if
it.
you don't want to
Just
talk about it,
do
as
it.
if you
the
don't
big
want to bring it
questions
up.
out the way. What's your
Yes,
favorite
everybody, we're
dinosaur? We
kind of
all know
big
what's
time
coming. What's
famous.
your
We're
favorite
kind of big
dinosaur?
time
Okay,
famous.
yeah. Start off with the big question.
The big question.
My favorite dinosaur is the Scansoriopteryx. It's a little dinosaur, similar to the Archaeopteryx in that it hung around forestry areas and could glide and was an insectivore. Gosh, that's a bit of a mouthful. Um, and I mainly fell in love with it because I had a book with really great paleo art, and the Scansoriopteryx in that book just stole my heart. And what's interesting about it, what's unique about it, I guess, is that it has an extended index finger to scrape into bark to get grubs, which I love about that so much. Reminds me of the eye that we have today. So yeah,
I
that's why I love it.
probably horribly misspelled this, but have you ever heard of the Epideptopteryx? That says epilepsy.
Ooh.
I was like, what the what now, Optrix?
Epideptopteryx. No, I don't think
I cannot
so.
spell its name for. There we go. It's good
I don't think
enough.
anyone can.
Epideptopteryx.
It,
I
it,
think
it
I
can
am
give
I
you
am still.
time every time to spell its name. It's got that kind of
Oh,
name.
I got it.
And
I got it.
I am genuinely
Yes, I
convinced, Eric,
have
and you
seen
can. I'm
this
sure you can
dinosaur
convince me
before.
otherwise. I'm sure you can convince me otherwise, bro. But I'm pretty sure some people just say words and then they're like, they say it one time, and then that's just the dinosaur's name, and then they're like, how do you spell it? Doesn't matter. That's how I say it, and you're just stuck
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
maybe. Have you ever heard of this guy? This little.
No, I
Yes, I have heard of it. I don't really remember the name, but I remember seeing it. This one has very long fingers, like it's basically just a mini Therizinosaurus, whereas the Scansoriopteryx just has one extended finger, um, which I love
So if
about
I
it.
so if
But
I
I
may
love
ask
this
you a
dinosaur
question,
too.
that's okay. So if I may ask you a question, Laurie, what
Mm.
about dinosaurs interests you?
Oh God.
That's
You
right.
know
That's the big
what?
question right here. 'Cause
I
you do one.
feel every time I think about dinosaurs having gone extinct now
Mhm.
and millions of years ago to a point where we don't have these sort of frozen corpses like we might have for for animals from the Ice Age.
Hmm.
And it just it breaks my heart and makes me want to cry every time I think about how they were so perfect and they could have been alive today if it weren't for that fucking asteroid. Apologies for my language, but of course there were
Everybody gets one.
other
To
reasons
be
why
fair,
it
to be fair,
got them, and that's why I
there
love
were
them.
multiple mass extinctions before the asteroid that really wiped out
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
species of dinosaurs.
yeah, no, yeah.
But you got to
I
admit,
know about
in her
the
favor, yeah, in her
mhm.
favor, there, it's like, well, the one of them had to come from space to knock these ones out, mate. That was the first time, and that was big time.
Yeah,
Have you
yeah,
ever
gosh,
heard of
yeah.
Sinosauropteryx?
Sinosauropteryx. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I have my laptop here. I'm just looking up
It's a ginger.
Sinosauropteryx. The
It's
ginger
how do you spell it?
dinosaur.
Like, who would come
Here,
up
just
with
look up here. I already got it
that?
pulled up.
Oh yes, yeah. No, I do know this dinosaur. See, I can
Oh,
never remember the name. I can never remember the names, but I remember what they look like. And yeah, this one is so cute.
little fuzzy tail.
Yeah, that's a
Little tail
huge
bug.
tail as well.
Oh, it is all
Huge
fuzzy.
tail. Like that's what I love about the dinosaurs as well, is how diverse they were. Like they were crazy because they existed for millions and millions of years. There's just so many
Only the
variations of
humans.
them. It's amazing. Hmm?
In fact, T-Rex is actually closer to owning an iPhone, to getting spam emails, than Stegosaurus.
Yes, then Stegosaurus. Yeah, I love that fact so much. It's
Fascinating.
actually wild.
What a fascinating millennial way to put that. That's so wild, man.
The last
Yeah, like they
woolly
were
mammoths
around
were
for
around
so
during
long.
the last woolly
Close to
mammoths
them.
were around during the building of the pyramids of Giza.
The pyramids. Yeah, it's
That's pretty
crazy.
cool when you think about it.
I love stuff like that makes you just rethink how we view history, because we usually view it as just a linear line when actually there's so many like crossovers in it that it's just like it's just wild.
It's a very unique, because you say like dinosaurs lived 65 million years ago, but you have nothing to compare that to. There's nothing to compare.
No,
humans cannot
literally.
imagine geological time. We can. It's outside of our scope. We just think like, oh, a million years, that's a number. No, mate, you're not thinking how high that number actually is.
Yeah,
It's like humans
insane.
are like, I think it's like 4 million. We're like 4 million years old.
Of the
Maybe.
timeline of the whole world, we've barely scratched the surface.
The thing is,
we're a blip.
What I've heard it as is if you stand up and you put your arms out side to side, humans are like the tip of your fingernail. We are
It's
nothing.
insane.
We are literally
nothing.
nothing in the geological time stream.
And yet we're gonna be the ones to wreck the planet. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Nobody tell anybody what I do. So I was gonna say, so Lottie, I have a different sort of question for you. So since clearly this is your first time on this podcast, this man is notoriously famous for dipping his toe in both departments here. So we're gonna try to stick a little off the beaten path, off the obvious. Like, oh, are you a Jurassic Park fan? We don't need to answer that here. We know that.
Yeah.
So I want to bring up
the Jurassic Legacy portion and not the actual podcast portion.
For sure. But we'll still aim for a little bit of both. So here's a different question for you. What is your experiences with dinosaur medium outside of the most iconic being in the Jurassic Park franchise? Now this encompasses things.
Oh gosh.
Yes. See, I say this is why it brings me along. I'm still got value over here as well. So this encompasses things like just various different things. It can be so varied from like Walking with Dinosaurs to Prehistoric Planet to anything that you grew up with. Prehistoric Park. Anything you grew up with. Tell us your stories.
Wait, is Prehistoric Park the one where
with Nigel Marvin?
Is that the one where they went into portals?
Yes, it is.
And got dinosaurs from
Oh, yes.
I loved that channel.
It was the coolest concept ever when I was a child.
And it looked real. And I thought it was real.
It did.
I was like, where are they getting the license for this? That's
it. Like, it has no
like
business being as good as it did, you know? And the thing is, I'll never forget about that show.
I remember so much from that show as well.
Oh, it was so good. I still have the DVD set somewhere around here.
You do?
I do. That's how old I am. It hurts. Sorry. So anyway, what I was going to say.
You just got called out.
I really did. So here's the thing. That not only did that show not have no instance being as good as it did, but my goodness me, it sparked. No other show, even including the Jurassic franchise, was able to get me to run outside and try to run around in my family property and try to bring back extinct animals from extinction. You know.
So beautiful, so well filmed as well. Genuinely, like it's just amazing. And I just loved how they pretended like it was real. Like it It was just so.
There was no like. You think they treat it. No, exactly. They treat it as a real sort of scenario. Like the crew, what it is. The little hints that go along with it is that like they will do shots that make you believe. Like you see the cameraman like
Yeah.
following it like it's a
Yes,
real
yeah.
documentary. That's it. As soon as they see like in episode
Oh,
3
God.
there, where the
Yeah.
dinosaurs, some of those dinosaurs that die from like a gas leak from a local volcano. You know, they're like
Yeah.
carbon
Yeah.
monoxide, get the ground, move, 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 and like the action kicks in and the music goes. God, I
Oh
never
my
forget it. My
God.
whole life. I'm
You make me
flashing
want
back.
to watch that show
I
again
will. We
so
will watch
bad.
that. I will find it, and next episode we will do
Oh,
a
you
live.
think I don't already have it pulled up somewhere?
Ah, you little legend! Don't you do this to
We're
me
not. We're
now?
not watching it this episode, guys.
No,
We're not
good
watching
boy.
it
This is
this
her
episode.
interaction episode. We got to ease her into this.
Okay.
Actually,
Yeah.
I'm technically not supposed to say this, but I did try uploading them onto my channel. They
Oh,
immediately got flagged for copyright.
oh, I
So
wonder why.
don't question it. Don't question it. It didn't happen. Nothing happened.
He's a real life
What
cowboy.
was that?
This one.
All right. So I mean,
I didn't hear it.
we'll circle this back to Jurassic Park since that's your primary focus.
Yeah.
Jurassic
Very
Park,
well.
Jurassic World.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What would your survival strategy be for Jurassic Park?
Oh, you.
So if I was
Original
on Isla
Jurassic
Nublar,
If you were, say, in the position of this new game, because we have this new game. I cannot believe, Laurie, we've never mentioned this to you so far. We have that new game coming out as well, Jurassic Park Survival. We
Yes.
have that
Oh
coming
my
out,
gosh,
yes.
I'm so excited.
How
for
do we
that.
never mention this before? So, yeah,
I
if
have
you were in
no
the position...
idea.
Yeah, if you were in the
We'll
position
touch
of
on
Maya
that in a
Joshi...
second here.
Oh, sorry.
If we'll touch on that game in a second.
Well,
If
I was
you
just
were
about to
in her
say,
position,
so... Yeah,
you're
in
the
her
only
position.
one left on Isla Nublar. Jurassic Park just collapsed. You're just
Yeah.
You don't.
You don't know. Again, that's the
Yeah.
thing. That's what's the little hint that I was trying to lead towards with Maya is that they've said in interviews, and we're not going to talk about the game yet, but they've said in the interviews that she is not an action hero. So you can't just be like, I'd get a gun and I'd shoot him and I'd get to the bank.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that. You have to actually think. So
You could.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
That's right. I could. I swear, I'd be dead. I told you
I'm
my
built
plan.
different, you see.
I would.
Oh, you're built
fist fight
different,
those dinosaurs.
Oh, he's flexing this fella. That's
I
why
would
he
go out there. I would go down fighting on this way.
really you get torn apart. No, but you're so nice.
Okay, so
Well,
my question is, would you pull a Camp Cretaceous and try to survive, or would you try to leave?
Oh, leave.
I think I would be, first of all, I'd be really excited that I'm away from civilization and with dinosaurs. So I think I would spend a little bit of time with them, not pushing it too far because then I would probably actually die. To say going out by a dinosaur is so cool. If I could choose any way to die, it would be that. But unfortunately, not.
Wow.
I got to choose
Wow.
the next best thing. It's like a ostrich or a chicken or something.
Well, I was just about to say, hold on, you still got the descendants hanging around, but here's here's an odd question, Eric. In the entire history of your channel and my channel, I don't think you. Well, I can't speak for you, but I've never asked this to anyone before. Lottie, if you could see how animated I'm getting, Lottie, if you could be eaten or killed on Isla Nublar, how would you? What would you want to go out with? Would you want to be torn apart by raptors, eaten quickly by a rex, stomped on by a brachiosaurus, impaled by a thagomizer? What would your choice of death be?
Okay, so I've often thought about this. Like,
Really?
Yeah, I think about death a lot. Honestly. Anyway,
You'll do.
there are some animals alive
PG
today where if you got attacked by that animal, everyone would be like, "Oh my gosh, that's tragic. How could that happen?" Like, oh, just nature is just cruel and stuff like that. You get attacked by a different animal, people will call you stupid. So
You know what? I actually have a terrifying story about that.
dinosaur? Jesus, oh god, which
Where
dinosaur
I live. In Australia.
would people say that you died stupidly from, and which dinosaur would people think was so cool that you died that way? You know, it's
It's all about the
balancing out.
legacy.
I
It's the legacy.
Okay, so from like
I wanna know how
pain
I'm remembered.
standpoint, from a pain standpoint,
Go on.
it depends on what you're doing. They're like, oh, this guy was like trying to box a velociraptor. They're gonna be like, why? And they're like, oh, the velociraptor bit his head or something. It's like, oh, he's dead. But we all know that the velociraptors would like torture you before they kill you.
Yeah.
So that would suck.
I mean,
that would suck to experience.
Yeah.
But
I
like,
mean, if you've
you're
seen
like, oh, he
dolphins,
got
I'm pretty sure Jurassic velociraptors would completely enjoy like ripping you apart like dolphins do.
Yeah, they like set traps and things. It's like, I don't think I want to mess with them. But they're like,
Yeah.
oh, he got cornered and was eaten by a T-Rex. It's like he's like, oh, they didn't really have a choice. They just had to stay and fight, and they got cornered by a T-Rex, and the T-Rex ate him. It's like, that's cool. It's gonna be
Yeah, I think
Barely
on
could
pain
contain us.
level, you would want to go for the bigger dinosaurs because they'll just take you down in one gulp.
You don't want to go
Um,
too big. Though.
You don't want to go too
Well,
big because if you think about, I want to say her name was Zoe, but I don't think it was.
Zara.
On the mosasaur?
Zara,
Zara?
the mosasaur,
I'm a
she
little too
got
good at butchering.
boiled in that animal's acid.
No, she didn't.
Oh, and no, I was gonna say,
No,
guess
she
what?
didn't.
Do you think she
I
was
can tell you
suffocated
exactly
No,
before?
why.
I knew it. You got there a second before me. You beat me by 1 second. I
So
knew this.
I know it's
was
got
film.
teeth. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Inner teeth. So she was impaled by
Oh,
the
right,
inner
Entire
yeah.
second row of teeth in the back of its throat,
Oh,
so
okay.
it was
She was
perfectly lined up
impaled
where
by
it
the
ate.
inner.
So
It's
do you think
crushed
she
by
would be like dead instantly as it closed its
100%,
jaws?
100%. It's that because
Right.
I knew
Okay,
that Eric
that's a
well.
lot better actually.
No, for
So-
sure. But I
Yeah.
But like
what you meant.
Giganotosaurus, Gigantosaurus, T-Rex, Spinosaurus, I would choose like Ceratosaurus over them, simply on the fact that if
Really?
the lawyer, think about it, he got bit.
Oh, here we go.
How much of him was sticking out?
The
Just
whole
his
bottom
legs.
half.
Yeah.
It was pretty much just his legs.
Fair enough.
So, but you can survive losing like your legs being cut off. So he saw into the throat of that animal and into the stomach, and he had to witness that to die. Ceratosaurus is not big enough, so it will just bite you, crush you, and then like rip your organs out, and you're just dead.
Oof.
You just bleed out.
Yeah.
the back.
Yeah.
We should be watching Goji Center, bro. That's a fellow who's like 10 horrible ways to
Exactly.
die in Jurassic Park.
Where do you
It's
think
like,
I learned my crap from?
Or
cheeky boy.
you go out by Pachycephalosaurus or
I
Stegosaurus
was
because
gonna say,
they
weirdly,
would just stun you and you wouldn't be able to feel anything. I know they wouldn't
Well,
eat
I
you
was almost
afterwards,
gonna say, I
but
Depends on where they hit you. If
then
they
you
hit
just
in the
I was gonna
die,
say, I feel like if
coming
they hit me in the
past
rib
that,
cage, I feel
basically.
all my ribs puncture my lungs. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
You would,
well,
like,
that's why you go
drown
head
in your own
on.
blood there.
head on. Go head on.
I tell you what, though,
You're
Just let
wild.
them hit it right there.
like you're
Strike
like
it.
you're
ducking
wild.
down,
Oh,
and
that's
like
great.
an
Just, like,
ankylosaurus
crushes
swings
your
its tail
dome
and
in.
just slams the
Oh,
back of your neck.
I think Ankylosaurus would be brutal to go out. I think it would definitely destroy all your bones, but I don't know if you'd die straight away unless it got your
I
head.
was gonna say, weirdly for me, I have no idea why I would admit this, but I think I want to go out weirdly getting like impaled on a Thagomizer of a Stego. I have no idea why. It's so
Really?
weird. You're
Painful.
still alive.
You
You're
feel it for a
still
second.
alive for like minutes at a time afterwards because you're not, depending on when they hit
You're
you,
just swinging
I don't know.
around on the thing.
swinging around, yeah, like still alive, like God, let me die.
Yeah.
Oh god.
What you do is you let a Triceratops impale you, and then you're just stuck on its horn.
Nah,
Yeah.
boy. I reckon the
You just
tail.
get to
I reckon
kind
the
of,
tail
like,
is
go around with it.
more like. I gotta tell
Yeah.
this thing.
Do you think Triceratops are similar to deer when they fight? You know, when some deer fight,
They
they
lose
can
like
like get caught up together, and then one of them could rip the head off the other one, and then can you imagine like a Triceratops walking around with another Triceratops head
yeah, you know,
on it, and then you're just there as
I-
well. Being
I reckon you're gonna give this man ideas though for our story. You're gonna be too good at what you do.
Not it depends, because this specific one is Horridus. There is it's like Landorus or something, Landius or something, where its horns go up instead of down, and then so it wouldn't, the horns wouldn't get really caught. It would be more like the horn punctures the frill and then gets stuck in the frill.
Yeah. Oh,
But
I see. Yeah.
it's not going to really do enough to.
Yeah,
like,
I mean they're not as
like-
complicated as antlers, so there is that.
No,
Although
I hear you.
T-Rex 100% could rip the head off of a Triceratops.
I do not doubt it. I do.
Well, it's kind of hard to get back to the neck, though, isn't it?
It is.
That's why
Like
they have
it's
that giant frill.
around.
And
That's right.
T-Rex is very nimble for its size. It is very
sure.
functional.
But the way
it is very efficient.
Yeah.
The way the crest is shaped, though,
In
it's
the
like
whole-
it's like a shield.
So I'll ask both of y'all this question. The whole debate is T-Rex a scavenger or a hunter? What do you think?
Look, hunter is obviously what sounds cooler, but obviously, but really think about it, dude. Here's the thing: I myself, this might surprise you, I'm a bit of a lazy bugger. When I'm not working, I'm not trying to hunt out. I'm not trying to go out to the local shopping mart and do hunting for my groceries. Like I like scavenging, bro. I like finding food that's left around nearby.
Yeah.
So why
And
would
it's such a safe
doing that on
move as well.
on a lazy Friday,
like
mate?
hunting takes up so much energy and risk getting
so-
killed, especially when you're going up big
The
terrain.
idea is though, the idea is, okay, like, you're the biggest thing around pretty well at that point. All you got to do is
Mm.
just mosey on up, bro. That's all you got to do. The food's not
Yeah,
going
like,
anywhere.
well, they have good protection. Like
Yeah.
Triceratops was like
And
if a
Kylosaur,
Triceratops
even
faced the
Edmontosaur could
injuries of a
defend.
Triceratops, it is done. Like a T-Rex getting
Edmontosaur would
injured
be
is the
the
worst thing that
most,
can happen to it.
Yeah.
and Kylosaur would be the most prevalent prey, in my opinion, for Tyrannosaur, just because of the lack of major defense mechanisms. But they're still massive. They like rival
Yeah.
T-Rex in size. And I feel like
Oh,
that's one
yeah.
thing that I wish Jurassic Park and Jurassic World would do, is that they would show just like the actual sheer size of a hadrosaur. Like put
Yeah,
Shanatogasaurus in there and just be like, oh, here's Rexy. Here's this thing. It's the same size as Rexy. What is
Yeah,
Rexy
yeah.
gonna
I
do?
remember.
It's
I
like,
remember hearing that iguanodons were the same size as T-Rex, and it just blew my mind. Like
Yeah.
they're so
even
big,
crazier,
and like same
Deinonychus
with the
hunted them.
Edmontosaurus as well. Yeah, same with the Mentosaurus. If you've seen the second season of Prehistoric Planet, you can see the two T-Rexes hunting the Edmontosaurus, I think it is, and they do it very cleverly. But also, that is the same size as them. Like, my God. But then if you think about lions taking out buffalo, those buffalo are bigger than them. So like,
Elephants, things, they take out
yeah,
everything. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. Even
it's
giraffes.
so
So
my opinion on the whole, are they scavengers or hunters, is that they're just both. I mean, it's
yeah,
like
yeah. No, I
it's a
think
little
they're both
cheap of an
too.
answer, but it's like
Well, it's a
it's like,
realistic answer,
oh,
isn't
I
it?
can't
There's
find a
no,
Yeah.
in nature, mate, there's no one way or another.
I
There's
don't.
whatever.
Yeah, I don't think they could just sustain themselves on scavenging.
No,
I
like
I
feel
mean,
they.
there
like
are a lot of
their
animals that
structure
can.
makes sense for hunting. Oh yeah,
Exactly.
obviously, but of course it's size. Like it has to eat a lot of meat to maintain that size.
But it's like an opportunistic scavenger. So if it's like, okay,
Yeah,
well, there's
yeah,
this dead Edmontosaur over here and a herd of Triceratops, I'm just going to pick the dead Edmontosaur
yeah,
because it's
yeah.
easier and less
It's
Yeah,
risky.
exactly. I
easier
don't have
to
to
eat.
waste any energy chasing it down or
Yeah,
anything. Right?
yeah.
It's all
So do you
about
think
what.
do you think there are dinosaurs that will just hunt? Because if you see brown bears, they are just hunters. They don't tend to scavenge at all. Like there'll be loads of dead fish left around, and they won't eat the
From
dead
nothing.
fish because they only like specific parts of it.
That's interesting. I didn't actually know that about bears. Huh.
Yeah, I'm a big animal nerd as well.
Dolphins,
Wow.
not dolphins.
You know what?
Orcas
I
aren't
I have
scavengers
a
either.
bad comparison to make for you, actually,
What
Lottie,
do you
on that
say?
one. It's that. Sorry, Lottie, you say that like there are only dinosaurs that do you reckon that only do hunting. There are fellas out there I know that only like going to the gym. There are fellas that only like going to the gym and only being active animals and active movers, and they can't sit still. So
It
there's
also would
really
just
different
depend on the individual too.
and the one thing we've learned about throughout history
Mm,
is that behavior doesn't change. The behavior doesn't
yeah.
change. The species does, and some
Well,
things it does is different, but the
yeah.
behavior itself, it's really is a common thing throughout
Do you
most
want me
absolute
Yeah.
to really
stuff.
blow your
Well,
mind
I
real quick?
think behavior has sort of changed even in today's
Do you
animals.
want me
If
to
you look
really
at
blow your mind real quick?
Go on. I
yeah.
know you're going to do it anyway.
This Ceratosaurus
Oh
Mm,
yes.
turned into this. They're
Mm,
related.
wow.
Carnotaurus and
So
Ceratosaurus.
the Belosaurids are the evolved version of Ceratosaurids.
Oh. Oh.
Oh,
And the
oh,
thing
Oh,
about
really?
that's
Ceratosaurus
weird.
is that it might have been like an aquatic creature. It might have
What?
actively hunted in the water.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ceratosaurus.
So
Wait,
it was.
how does it have the equipment, if you like, to hunt in the water?
It's got more like long, slender teeth, more like a Spinosaurid than like the serrated edge teeth like an Allosaurid at the time. Or
Yeah.
Torvosaurus, I guess.
Hmm.
Mm.
Oh,
Torvosaurus.
right.
So it's a unique lineage that exists and it most of it is behavior. I mean, if you think about it, like a group of ceratosaurs got really good at hunting sauropods
Mm.
or taking out younger sauropods, so then they turned into abelosaurids, which are more adapt for hunting sauropods and things like that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I love
you
it
certainly
so
give a
much.
man a lot to think about. You do, Eric.
Yeah.
It's never a single time you've ever invited me on this podcast. You don't leave me with more questions than I have answers. You do
I
all
try
right.
my
Oh
best.
gosh, yeah.
No. You do
Yeah.
it well. You do it well. So, Lottie, here's a different question for you.
Mm.
I shouldn't even ask this because this is unfair. This is unfair to you, so brace yourself.
Just say it. Just say
Oh
it.
dear. Oh dear. If you could revitalize one early 2000s project, Walking with Dinosaurs. Now I know it's already in the works. I know
Walking
it's
with
already.
Walking with Dinosaurs
Dinosaurs
does
was
not
already
count.
Pretend you didn't know, but pretend you didn't know that. You have the options of 3 that I'm aware of. Maybe there's some other ones you're aware of as well that I'm not of, but you have at the bottom. You have 2000s Dinosaur. You could get a sequel for that. You could get for
Oh,
Disney, like
yeah.
Disney Channel. Yeah, Disney. Yeah, with the talking ones, which actually works. Sorry to Dinotopia.
Yeah.
It actually works having a talking dinos. You could have had for all the listeners out there. What about Prehistoric Park? Imagine that. Imagine season 2 of that finally. Nigel Marvin returns, got the grey hair. He said, I've been stuck in the past for so long. How's my park going? Oh, it's all in ruins. Got to start again. Like that. We could do that. Or you could
Bring in
then
new dinosaurs and have better
that-
animation.
that's a better animation, actual plot lines, different kid, a new generation of prehistoric staff. Yeah, you could do all that. You could have Bob, his buddy son or whatever, coming out and doing it. You could have so much stuff. And then your third option, though, is of course a new Walking with Dinosaurs show. Oh my gosh, guess what? I've heard they got that. It works, haven't they? So if you could pick only one, if you have to live with only one of
So
those
if you
stories.
don't pick the Walking with Dinosaurs,
Yeah,
one,
if you
then
don't pick the Walking
new
with Dinosaurs,
series wouldn't happen.
that's right, the new series wouldn't happen.
That's-
Think about
that's
it.
the
Think,
Oh,
yeah, think about it. We can't make it too easy on you.
see,
I'm talking now,
I
but wait,
love
but wait.
Walking with
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
I was going to make it even more worse. They are able now. Yes, the new series is going to be shorter by about 5 or so minutes each episode. There's only a couple of episodes, but they get the original narrator, Sir Kenneth Bridges, to come back, who we all know from the voice, and they get the original title come in. You know, the music and everything, but it's a different, more updated. So, what do you do with that added to the caveat? What are you going to do? What do you choose? I've ruined this for you, I know. I'm putting you through the paces. You're going to retire tomorrow, everybody. She
See,
is. So we need to get her
I
in.
love Walking with Dinosaurs. It's
Of course.
amazing. But we have Prehistoric Planet.
That's the loophole. I'm so
So
proud
I
of you.
think
That was the loophole.
I
You've
think
got
I would
something
go with
still.
Prehistoric Park. Jurassic Park is so
Damn.
unique, and I think
I like
would
how we're not even
deserve
thinking about the
a
like
rehash.
Disney dinosaur movie.
No, I know. I was going to be like,
no
well,
one
look at
cares about
I'll-
fictional
Ah,
dinosaurs.
damn.
We don't
Did the
need them.
dinosaurs not traumatize you as a child and set you straight? So it did me. Oh no, that's
Yeah.
great. That is a brilliant answer, Lottie. You know what? That was actually the little loophole I was hoping you were going to figure out. I didn't mention Prehistoric Planet season 3 or whatever. Like
Yeah.
none of that. That's wonderful. She's worth her early retirement tomorrow, I reckon. So I'm joking. She's probably going to be here for a long while, fans. So Eric, on with you again, bro. What do you got?
All right, so we talked about Jurassic Park. So surviving Jurassic Park is a very that in my opinion is probably more difficult than surviving Jurassic World. It was not
Really,
rushed,
but
maybe
Jurassic World has like hotels and shit.
It does. It has certain sanctuaries. It has
So what was
That's the
supplies.
one thing I kind of
strategy
hate
be?
about the campers is like, why didn't they
I
just go
know.
to a
I was going to
hotel?
say
Like,
exactly. That's the thing. Well, they
it's like
can't. Well, that's the thing.
5-star hotels on the island.
Exactly. Like it's
So
it's
what would
and
your
the weird thing
survival
is,
strategy be for surviving
Yeah.
Jurassic World?
Which
Great
is surviving Jurassic World.
Like
So if
the
I
park
was like
just
campers
collapsed.
and I missed the boat and everyone's gone, my first thought would probably be to stay on Main Street.
stay on Main
Stay
Street.
in the shops. Because I think once humans have cleared out, the dinosaurs are going to go back to the jungle, like back where they used to.
Interesting.
And of course, the
Because
T-Rex is there.
there
But
you go. I was going to
you
say
can outrun a T-Rex.
you can
well,
outrun a T-Rex.
You can go round it
Claire
in
can
circles or
outrun
zig
Exactly,
away from it.
If Claire can
Yeah.
outrun a T-Rex in heels, I can.
Claire
outrun
can
a
do it in
T-Rex
heels on Main
I can
Street.
run out
specifically.
T-Rex in yeah.
All
But just
right.
saying, if Jurassic World or Jurassic Park or any other park like that was ever to come to fruition today, I would be wearing outdoor gear so that if anything went wrong, I would be so ready. Like I'm not
Hey guys, I brought
I'm
the
not
gun.
arriving in flip flops. Like no, I'd be ready for that shit.
Funny. That is so funny. All right, well here's no, I can't even ask that. That's unfair to you because I don't
Hang
even
on.
know the answer I would do. Oh,
And this is what I was talking about earlier. So you have Ceratosauridia. So Ceratosaurids. There's actually a lot more.
Yeah.
There's 2 types of Ceratosaurus, which is interesting. But also down here, it breaks off from Ceratosaurus 2 abelisaurids. So
I see, yeah. And then you got the Carnosaurus.
Carnotaurus should be here. Well, it keeps going, and then eventually you get to like Carnosaurnia, and you get different type of
I see.
carnivores,
Yeah,
including
yeah.
Abelisaurus itself, the madman
Hmm.
Majamba. So it's you're saying behavior doesn't really change, but behavior actually affects the way that they evolve over time. I mean,
Yeah,
Well,
I
to be
mean,
fair,
just
that
look at polar bears
you know,
right now.
to be fair, that is what the second novel Michael Crichton ever wrote was about. It was the first one was about the unpredictability of complex systems, and then the
which one
second
was
one
it?
is about behavioral changes on that life formalizes like a crystal. God, I sounded smart then. God, I was my most proudest
Yeah.
moment of the night. Second most proudest moment of the night. Oh, he loves
Second?
showing us off. Yeah, no, second. I'm not going to say about the first one. We ain't plugging that boy. It ain't been uploaded yet.
Well,
He said, "Well, no, I'll tell you in the
so
background."
I have to ask though. So you have some basic roles in the first Jurassic Park movie. You have a big theropod, you have a raptor, a sauropod, a ceratopsian, kind of a mystery carnivore, Dilophosaurus, and then like a duckbill kind of creature. If you were to go back to the original Jurassic Park and they were like, you can't use the original dinosaurs, what dinosaurs would you pick to make
Oh,
like an
wait, hold on.
interesting
Oh my
compelling
gosh,
movie?
I need to write down that list. So I've got a hadrosaur, a duck-billed dinosaur,
You need a
duck-billed
big
dino,
theropod,
big theropod, yeah,
a raptor,
raptor,
a sauropod,
sauropod. Oh
a
gosh, I can't spell.
ceratopsian, or you can replace it with a stegosaurid, ankylosaurid, whatever you want to do.
Oh,
And then
okay.
like a mystery Dilophosaur kind of creature for the
And then a mystery dinosaur. Is that one
for
that
the
I make
extra
up
carnivore.
myself?
So
Um,
what would you pick for those? If you
duck-billed
want,
dinosaur would definitely be iguanodon. I love the
Iguana.
iguanodon.
if you want, I can go first since I've already thought about this and made my list.
Oh my gosh, yes, go first. I might end
All
up
right.
stealing
So
your
for
ideas.
my big theropod, I actually made it a Jurassic creature. And in my opinion, Jack is going to hate me for this in a second. And in my opinion, it might be more dangerous than the T-Rex. Saurophaganax. Where did I put my... I would bring in Saurophaganax simply on the basis of just like how vile they were in their ecosystem. They were basically... Allosaurs were basically the honey badger of dinosaurs. Anything that got in their way, they would just kill it. It's just kind of like kill it, they'd hold it down, they'd eat it alive. That would be very brutal. And having like that, like a massive allosaurid like that to kind of like have like a moment where they're like, oh, it's just an allosaurus, and it just like gets up and it's larger, and they're like, oh, we're screwed.
Yeah.
For the raptor, I actually picked Utah raptor.
I love the Utahraptor. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Utah, it's like you just make it like bigger than Velociraptor. Give it some feathers.
Yes.
No ideas here. For the sauropod, I put. I'll see if you know this one. Poseidon.
Ooh. Hold on. Poseidon.
It lived in what formation it was? Prehistoric Mongolia with Tarbosaurus, Velociraptor, Therizinosaurus, those kind of creatures.
Yeah.
Yes, I just know that off the top of my head. Do not judge me. It was.
Wait, how do you spell Poseidon Titan?
Poseidon Titan.
Poseidon.
Or it might be like Poseidon Titan.
Oh, I see. Poseidon. Oh gosh, hold on.
I cannot spell either.
Ooh, it's not coming up.
It's not a sauropod, it's a titanosaur. I know that because it's
yeah
larger than that. And for like the alternative, I would put like Patagotitan, just because like I feel like the larger, like just the absolute massive sauropods, and you could have it like they're like, oh, we should it's a sauropod, and then it like freaks out and tramples down a forest, and you're like, oh, it's a sauropod. We have to deal with these things. These things are actually dangerous.
God, yeah.
Because I
love how Camp Cretaceous showed that herbivores were dangerous as well. I love that.
I do not like that one aspect of like the whole Jurassic Park, that they're just like, especially Jurassic World, where they're just like, the Apatosaurus is just some little thing that
they're just moving around, like it's not really
Indominus Rex can just hunt them. It's like, no, those things were killing apex predators in their time.
Yeah. I hate that the Indominus took down a Ankylosaurus so easily. Like those things are beasts.
Like I get it's supposed to show how dangerous and how like violent and like how like intelligent and able to learn it is, but it's still like T-Rex doesn't screw with half of these. Why would you?
Yeah, literally. Oh.
For the Ceratopsian,
R.I.P. Bumpy's mother, I guess.
For the Ceratopsian, I put Styracosaurus.
Ooh.
Just because Styracosaurus is objectively better than Triceratops.
I love this dinosaur so much.
For the Misc Dilophosaurus-like creature, I put Cryolophosaurus. It is technically a Dilophosaur. I guess it's still technically on the rocks if it is or if it isn't.
Oh yeah.
But last time I checked, it I think it isn't technically, but it's all semantics at this point. It basically is it's basically a Dilophosaurid, but that's all semantics. And for the duckbill, like I mentioned earlier, I'd put Shanatungosaurus. Just so it's this massive hadrosaur that is just like, oh, these things are unreal.
Yeah.
So what would your list be?
Jesus. Okay, well, I clearly don't know as many dinosaurs as you do, which is very sad.
Don't fan my ego.
I think Raptor. I would put Utahraptor as well.
That's a solid choice.
Just because, kind of wish we got them in Jurassic
I love
World.
Utahraptor, man. I either that or like Megaraptor, just some like a massive.
Yeah. Oh, I swear there was one from that book that I really liked, but I cannot remember what it was called. And I'm certainly not searching through that book right now.
Considering that this is like a cast of a Megaraptor's claw.
Yes,
the size of my forearm, which is horrifying.
And then just imagine how big that thing is.
It's like
huge.
Or death over here.
Okay. No, thank you. Big theropod. Trying to think now. I'm just searching through all of them in my brain.
Would you just pick another Tyrannosaurid, or? I can rattle off some Tyrannosaurids if you'd like.
Go, you might jog my memory.
Mm-hmm.
So you have
impressed me.
You have Australovenator is technically a Tyrannosaurid. Megaraptor is it's a Megaraptora, but it's under the Tyrannosaurid family.
Okay.
You have Eotyrannus, you have Raptorix, you have Dryptosaurus, Apalachosaurus.
I think I would go for Raptorix, mainly because that's a dinosaur I've read before.
You don't want Bichihivosaur or Gorgosaurus or Albertosaurus or Alioramus?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, I'll stick with Raptorix just because.
It's an interesting choice for a big theropod.
Yeah.
Considering that it's smaller than Utahraptor.
Yeah.
That'll be a bloody final battle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I'm surviving on this island, actually, it's probably fast, isn't it?
So my thing is, I would want more. I would want more larger carnivores than smaller.
Yeah.
A, they're easier to see coming. B, they probably would not actively hunt me.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
You stick
Only
with
issue
raptors?
is with the smaller ones, you can probably climb up trees not very high to escape them.
I don't
Whereas
know. They could probably climb after
with
you. I
T-Rexes,
think Utah Raptor could climb.
really,
I really think they could. Raptors in generals were very adept climbers. Could be very adept climbers.
Jesus.
Allosaurus might be
You know,
able
I
to
always say
climb too.
I'm sad these aren't alive right now, but sometimes I
It's a
actually
forgotten
glad.
child in the middle. Yeah. No, that's sweet ass.
Yeah.
So tell me this then, like.
Mm.
I shouldn't say this once again. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to you. But if you could meet one character, not the actor, character from Jurassic Park, any of the movies, any of the things, just out of curiosity, say, I don't know, any of them from a particular set of franchises, what would it be? Just out of curiosity.
What if I got to meet any
Yeah,
Jurassic
if you
character?
get stuck on an island with one character, remember it can be anyone. Say they all have a fair shot. All of them have a fair shot of getting off and getting you off as
Yeah.
well. They all know their
That's
stuff.
not
No,
no. You can't.
I'm
You
playing
can't
devil's
say
advocate
that
here.
because someone like Roland Timbo would have a greater chance of helping you survive than like
Naturally. If
Mason
you say
Okay.
even
What? Okay.
no,
What
no,
if it
no.
was just someone that I invited to dinner? Like,
And also, yeah,
just to
exactly. Like
talk with.
you were late to the boat. Like you were late to the boat in Jurassic Park, and you got left behind. Also, what if
Someone else
what
is late with me.
people? A very good answer to this question, Eric, that I always see people missing over is that they forget that like the radio room or the maintenance room or whatever it is, like that, like Ray Arnold, for instance, Samuel L. Jackson. He's the head bloody security bloke or whatever he is, so he knows all the keys and stuff to the system to shut down like a route to the docks and get you there safely.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
people
but
never
then
take that
again,
sort of stuff
he
into
can get
account.
taken out easily. So protecting him
True.
would be.
He knows how to do it. He knows how to do beautiful
No,
I would not bring
cigarette and mouth
Muldoon.
acting. He does.
I would not bring Muldoon. I would
no,
bring
I know
Roland
who it would
Timbo.
be.
I think
know
Muldoon
who it
too.
would be.
Oh, who would it be? What do you got?
My favorite character from Jurassic Park, and including all those 3 films, is Muldoon. I think we would have a
Really?
great conversation. And
Fair income.
A, he'll sacrifice his life for you, even though
You
he
would.
met you like yesterday.
Sure.
B, he carries a gun. I mean, instant
That's
blood.
why I'm saying Roland Timbo though.
And
Because
C,
in
he's
the
Hello?
books, he
really
actually
just
killed a
charismatic.
raptor.
That's it. Hey, that's it.
Yeah.
No, all right. Okay. All right. That's a good answer. Actually, good on you. See,
Timbo
everybody.
did what
You know what?
Muldoon couldn't. He actually killed a raptor.
You know what? You know what, everybody? If there's enough demand, we'll try to convince her to not retire next time we see her. We'll try to keep her around. We'll try to keep her around for a little while longer.
Hey, but
Yeah,
you know,
every
we could
video
from
will be
now.
like, guys, this is my last video.
Guys,
And
tomorrow
then,
is
don't worry,
so
I'm on
sad.
next
I've done it
week.
for so long. I've done it for so long. And everyone's like, no, you're really nice. Just like the one person. Just me under a different account. Like, just stick around and be like, I guess I'm staying on.
So
Yeah.
if you've seen the previous episode, I won't say anything, or you've seen her first interview on, well, I guess not technically your podcast, but the Jurassic Fan podcast, whatever.
Yeah.
Thanks for
It's
pointing
clear
that out.
that you don't like a particular one of the movies.
Oh, here we go. You get to
Are we gonna
talk
go down-
all
are we
kinds of
actually gonna
shit.
go down?
Oh, wait a minute.
Okay.
Let's see.
A, what didn't you like about the movie? B,
Oh no.
what would you
Oh,
do to
no.
change the movie if you were in
Oh
charge of it?
snap! All right, so
How would
constructive
you change
criticism.
the movie?
Oh, if you were directed, so this is a famous
No,
question, as you know.
how would you change the movie enough to be
Yeah,
like
we call that course correction. So I swear that
course correction?
should have been
And see, how would if you had complete creative liberty? How would you
directive
do the movie?
control. You could rewrite it yourself, and you could have like all of everybody do everything
Yeah.
correctly for you.
Okay.
What would you do?
Me and my sister have actually talked about this so
Oh my
much.
goodness! Oh my goodness!
So before we get into that, I'm going to talk about why I hate
Yes.
the
What?
movie.
Go on. Lay it on us.
All right, Jack, silence.
I am
Okay.
mute me. I'll be crying on the other end. No, go on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Starting
you.
off.
Oh, you
Starting off.
prick! You know, go on, start off.
All right, let's start. Let's go.
I would kill you.
Right.
I would kill you if you made me have to restart now. I'd be like, nah, I'm out. Gone, done. Now go on, Lottie. Ignore him. Ignore him. All right, so
Okay, here we go.
All right. Answer this question.
Okay, let's fucking go. First off, in my notes, for Dominion, I've written shit story, shit characters, shit dialogue, shit dinosaurs, shit score, shit everything.
Dinosaurs? You
my
didn't like the
language.
dinosaurs?
I did not like the dinosaurs in this film.
What didn't
Mainly
you?
because of how. Okay, let's start with the dinosaurs. Okay, so I'm a bit of a film nut. I know Swerve was saying, "Oh, you can't compare each film with each other, because every film's different." I disagree. There is, of course, filmmaking is subjective, but there are ways to make a film better objectively.
Always. I mean, yes.
And Dominion just ignored all of those rules. So, what I hated about the
Really hate this movie.
dinosaurs, I really hate this movie. You have no idea. I hate this movie. I was in pain watching it in the cinema. And I'll tell you what, usually when I watch films, I don't judge them while I'm watching them and usually wait till like after them to sort of
something
look
happens.
back and remember how it could have been better or how it was good. So when I'm watching a film, usually I have a great time. Love watching movies, and usually I have a great time off the bat. It's only afterwards that I start to sort of see the flaws and criticize it. For Dominion, about halfway through, I was sat there and I was like, this film is not going to get better. It's shit. Like I just knew it was a terrible film. Even when it hadn't finished, I was begging it to get better, but it just didn't. Starting off with the dinosaurs. In filmmaking, if you're going to introduce something, it has to have an effect on the plot or the characters, otherwise it shouldn't be there. Loads of these dinosaurs didn't need to be there at all. My main gripe with one of the dinosaurs is the Pyroraptor. That scene could be completely removed from the film and nothing would change. And you could say the same thing about every dinosaur pretty much. Because you have the locusts taking over the story. Yeah, like Dimetrodon as well, anyway. They were just pointless. And the dinosaurs were so poorly puppeted as well. In Jurassic Park, they're beautiful. I mean, this film was made 30 years ago, and the dinosaurs still look real. Of course, you can still tell that they're puppets or whatever, but you're able to suspend your disbelief with them.
You can still tell, but it's still good.
It's still good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's this thing in filmmaking called suspension of disbelief. So if a film can sort of mask, and a film needs to not let the audience know that it's a film.
Like
basically.
Realistically,
when you're watching,
would probably be like, why the hell are you taking us to a random island?
Literally. No? And what helps about Jurassic Park so much is that they use puppetry so much. So they're on set with the characters, and so the emotions you get from the characters are so real, and that helps so much. The dinosaurs that were animated in Dominion just looked so shit. And I think the worst one, I think a lot of people would say, was the Dilophosaurus. It looks like plastic, and you can see the glass eyes, and they just don't move like it did in the original. Like in the original, they couldn't let the Dilophosaurus move on screen because they just didn't have a mechanic for it. They couldn't see it walking, but they utilized it to the best of its ability, even when it's just standing still. And
I have something Dilophosaurus related to show you after this, actually. So continue on.
Okay.
I'm excited.
What?
No.
Okay, hold on. My sister wants to listen. I'm going to disconnect my headphones.
Okay, so the main reason I hate Dominion was obviously because of the insects. Like, I get that it's prehistoric, but it's Jurassic Park, and Jurassic Park is about dinosaurs. But my main gripe with it is that they didn't kill the dinosaurs. And I know that sounds crazy to say, but the franchise should have ended with Dominion.
It
And I
totally
get
should
that
have.
they can make like following franchises about it, but it should have ended with Dominion. Like
That's what they were setting it up to be
the
as
whole
well.
goal of because the very first title that was released for Dominion was Extinction. So everyone thought it was going to be Jurassic World Extinction, and that the plot was going to be that they were going to kill off all the dinosaurs because they're an invasive species, essentially. But instead, they introduced another invasive species, completely ignoring the fact that dinosaurs are invasive.
Yeah.
And the insects, the giant insects, are invasive because they're enormous and they eat loads and they just destroy the world. And that's what the whole film was about. The whole film was about the
Environmental
insects,
impacts of dinosaurs.
the environment,
Yeah, the
of
ramifications
dinosaurs,
of
but
having
of the
stream. Yeah.
insects, when
So
they could have been
honestly,
talking about Huh?
I don't see a Dominion, like the whole insect plot. It has a place. It just should not be.
It shouldn't have
movie-
taken over the entire
It
But
should
the
story.
be
film-
movie
Yeah.
directly after dinosaurs get on the mainland.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right. Like if it had been
Yeah.
a series,
It
a
could have been
limited
saved.
series. Like,
I
they
think
could
it
just
just goes to
Keep your voice
show.
down.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I think it just
No, no.
goes to show that they had no plan for the dinosaurs when they introduced the insects. They didn't know where to go with it other than killing them off. Which makes sense because the whole, like, you have to kill them.
No, that's
Like,
it. If
the
we had
point
to
is that
survive.
they don't belong in this world and that we're supposed to care about today's animals, not dinosaurs.
Yeah. And then the film just completely overwrote itself when they released the insect at the end, and they tried to make it seem like that was a really progressive and exciting thing when it's like, no. And
Yeah, I'm
it could
feeling
have
it.
gone completely full circle from all
What's-
the Jurassic Park
what's that?
films. Why?
You're talking really louder.
Okay, sorry. From all the Jurassic Park
We're getting
films.
passionate. We're getting very passionate.
Keep going, keep
From
going, keep
all the
going.
Jurassic
Keep
Park
going, yeah.
films. Because during the dinner table scene, something that Malcolm
Hammond.
brings up,
And Malcolm, yeah.
no, Hammond brings up, is that they could have released condors instead of releasing dinosaurs. So if at the end of the film, if they killed all the dinosaurs and then released condors at the end,
Because they would
the
be
real
better.
fans would have got that reference. They would have got it,
That's
and it would have meant so much because that
That's
was
a
in
fun idea.
because humans killed dinosaurs, but then they release an invasive, not an invasive.
No. Yeah, they've learned their lesson,
people
kind of. It's
killed
like
due to
symbolic.
deforestation,
And
and
hunting.
like
Huh.
tried to, and it could just be a sign that we care about the species that are alive today. And it's like, dinosaurs are amazing, but like Malcolm said, they've had their time, and so they needed to die, and it should be the animals today that we care about. And that's how they could introduce it and make it feel more real,
More
you know?
cathartic.
Yeah, like if something has
Just
like
bring the
been learned
franchise
from all
full
of this problem.
circle, you know?
Yeah, and they could have had a beautiful, beautiful scene where the last dinosaur that they killed could have been Blue, because I do love Blue, even though she's very anthropomorphized. I do like her a lot. What they could have done is they could have buried her in the ground the same way they found the Velociraptor skeleton.
Oh, that would have been cool, actually. That could have been cool.
And
Damn it.
they could
We've
have had
talked
that
about
shot from
this.
above.
Yeah, we've already talked about this, but still, right now, it just makes me so
It would
sad
have
what we could have got.
so hard.
Dang, well, they had to kill Bumpy? What Bumpy do?
They would have been killed by T-Rex.
Yeah, but then
Now,
you can
their opinion.
follow on franchises by having people that hid dinosaurs underground and protected them because they didn't want them to go extinct.
Yeah,
and
but
then
there's
you could have,
only so
and then
far
you
that
could have a
one can
moral
go.
argument where it's like, was it right for them to protect the dinosaurs? And you could have all the characters, so like the reprise of the Jurassic Park characters and things like that. You could have had every character have a different viewpoint on the dinosaurs. So like whether they should, it's a complete moral argument.
So,
like you could have had
You could have
dinosaurs.
had character conflict, which this film
I
did not
feel
have.
the characters from the new movies were way worse than the ones from the like. They're just like some kind
Well,
of archetype.
They're so dry.
Like,
They
you know-
don't have opinions. That's the problem. They
Like,
don't have
look at,
opinions about the dinosaurs.
No,
I mean,
like,
they do,
they
but it's
don't
pushed
have
over so
actual
quickly.
character.
No,
They're just
it
like
just
some
show,
character
like-
archetype. They're not an actual character. Like,
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
yeah.
they are.
you
They
don't
are
really
literally
show
just-
emotion.
Where
you
the
can- you
original
can tell-
characters.
You can tell
Yeah.
so hard that
Well, the thing is,
they just
so
carry on the Owen and
Claire.
Owen and Claire
Couldn't remember
plotline
her name.
of them, like, will they, won't they? Basically, it's just so
Mm.
dry.
Yeah.
Well,
so
here's actually an interesting point.
Was so much more than that.
Here's an interesting point, actually, you just brought up that I haven't thought about in years, right? 2018 comes around, Fallen Kingdom is in the cinemas. I am going there day one with my family, and I'm watching this, and that movie actually turned me around on Claire a lot, because in that film, I will never forget. Well, no. Here's the thing. I will actually defend this part of the thing. So she, remember, she goes from being a business Mongol to, like, you know, like in control of an empire, basically, of like financial empire for these animals, to actually caring about. It felt like the only one in that film who felt like he was on my side. My side in that movie was watching and wanting these dinosaurs not to die on this island for something we had done. We had chosen to bring them back to life, and she was the only one who was still kind of fighting for them all the way, girl, up until the point where at the last minute, when the gas is like releasing on something, they're killing him, and it's a secondary choice there. And people give Maisie a lot of flack for opening that door, but here's the thing as well, right? I just remember now looking back on that moment in the cinemas, and I was like, and you know, he's like, even Chris Pratt's character, he cautions her. He's like, Claire, you press that button, there's no going back. At the time, I was obviously not too young, but I was too immature, and I was like, looking back, if I was in that position, I remember not screaming in the cinema because I don't want to be that guy, but I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? They're gonna die. What are you doing? Press the button. Press the button. I was like so ready to go. I wouldn't have cared about the consequences or anything. And she makes that moral choice to flip the button back down and not release them. And then yes, they still get released. But I remember feeling that like you guys said, the inner conflict of like, I love these animals. I care about them. I would not have thought about the catastrophe that could have happened. I still would have done it.
Yeah.
So you're right. But whereas you guys and everyone else in that cinema that I learned years later, like even my mom was like, no, if you release those things, they're gonna cause ecological catastrophe. Like people will die, families will be torn apart. And I'm like,
You want
you're
the
right.
real
I didn't
honesty?
think about that at the time.
You want the real
Yeah.
honesty? A vast
Tell me
majority of them would just starve to death slowly.
Oh, for sure. There's
Yeah.
nothing they can do. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. But that's the
Yeah.
thing.
They're
I
not
just
enough
remember
food
that
for them.
We
moral
can all
one.
agree that
Yeah.
dinosaurs being populated all over the world in just 4 years is unrealistic.
Very
But
much so. Very much so.
I
And
get
Granted,
it.
I'm curious if there was something in their DNA.
well,
If
well,
there was
here's the
something
thing.
in the Triceratops DNA that allowed it to like graze on grass. If it was,
Well,
then
that's
they
that's
could
another fair
very
point.
well.
There's a fair point. And the thing is,
Yeah.
the thing is, I'm a little too knowledgeable when it comes to all that sort of stuff. And like, I know that you can splice certain different sorts of DNA. For instance, I had no idea about any of this stuff. Here's a fun little fact for everybody listening.
Mhm.
In the stories that we're writing, I'm going to include armadillo DNA. Do you know why armadillo DNA? You think armadillo and you think, oh, a little rile up little thing. You know what they can do? They have these little extra abilities that you never know about. Apparently, they can stave off having a child, like forming eggs and whatever stuff
Yeah.
like that, for up to 2 years. It gets to choose when
Yeah,
it continues
I
on
heard
that
about
legacy.
that.
And also, they can float or they can sink, and they can walk across the bottom of a river. And it's just little tiny things like this that you never know. So yeah, you're right, Eric, mate. Like you can have them do all sorts of different stuff. But just to round out what I was going to say there, it was about, yeah, I just remember, like you say, feeling this moral quandary. And not that Dominion didn't have that, because at moments, and you guys just said, like, there's no way dinosaurs could get over the world. Again, I've put too much thought into this. What happens is that, like, again, it's not just that 20 dinosaurs that were out there doing this sort of stuff. You know, it became a global thing because people now had the access. And believe it or not, to go super into detail, when Masrani Global Corporation went out of business from Jurassic World, the license that they had with this thing called the DNA Act or whatever it was called of 1993, who they had basically bought InGen, and InGen had this like patent with it. Once that patent ran out, anything dinosaur related was free market. You could kind of get away with it around the world. Other companies could do it. So it became a global epidemic then at that point, and like an intentional epidemic.
Mandalore
So
could have came
it's
from
these
my-
little things, Yeah, it's these little things. But like you said, there's no excuse. Like people should know what they're doing. That's what I'm saying. People should know what they're doing, but have a bit of sense. But that's what Malcolm tries to tell them for years, And they never
like
listen.
Dominion as a movie, it has like an
It
interesting.
can,
it
like
has
you said,
interesting
it can. Yeah, it
but
can
as a
work, but it
Jurassic
doesn't work
movie,
because
it's
like if you have to think about it to the level of someone like me, a super fan, just to make sense of it, you're right, girls. It doesn't, super nerd. So it doesn't work. You're right. It doesn't work. You can't spend 10 hours afterwards thinking like, well, how did that happen logistically? No, the movie should be able to tell you. You're there to watch a movie, turn your brain off, and it doesn't do that. And unfortunately, I said I am a defender, but I like about 75% of it. I can agree with you on that. 75%, the rest of it, I'm like, I don't know.
It should not have been the movie right after they were like, dinosaurs are loose in the world. It's like, I don't care about some locust plot. I want to see what the dinosaurs are doing.
Yeah, I think Dominion should have been a two-parter.
Like, for sure.
I could see where they wanted to go with Biosyn. That could have been the first movie. Second movie,
sure.
you cover dinosaurs in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
But, however, I will say this. Take Dominion out of the context of the Jurassic universe, and it's just a shitly made movie.
It's thrown together. Well, that's the thing. You remember the way they reintroduced Dr. Grant, and here's the thing. I will never fault them for the way they reintroduced Dr. Grant. Yes, it was disrespectful in a way, but like when that music plays, that fanfare plays, the inner child of me was so happy to see him again. But you're right. You're right. You're right, Lottie. If I would have thrown that movie on with my grandmother, that would mean nothing to her.
We mentioned this last episode, and I get this isn't a Star Wars podcast, but watch any of the original Star Wars movies on their own in any order.
They stand on their own. You get
it.
They're
a standalone movie. Watch any of the Jurassic Park, the Jurassic World, the Jurassic. They stand alone, except
they do stand alone.
Dominion
but here's the thing as well. Like, if you just started right at like Fallen Kingdom randomly, like I said again, if you were Lottie, if you were introduced to your grandmother or whatever, but like just at Fallen Kingdom, she'd be like, "What is happening? What is this island? Why should I care? What is happening?" It has to be
like it's a brand new film. You need to include all audiences, including audiences that have no context of previous films.
I never forgot, like again,
to be standalone.
And then
I remember sitting in the movies
from older films.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in the movies in like, I don't remember if it was my mom or my brother or whatever, and they're like, "What's going on? Who's that? Why are we doing this? What is this?" And we're watching like Fallen Kingdom, and I'm just like, I only know this because I know the like lore.
Because I've watched the other movies. Exactly.
Yeah,
but
like,
again, maybe we are dissecting a bit too closely, but I know exactly what you're saying, though, girl. It's like there's an annoyance, there's an irritation to it. Now, the thing, weirdly enough, again, now I will defend Dominion a lot. One little thing that always sort of bugged me, again, is that you bring back the original cast. 30 years, some people have been genuinely waiting for this. I used to think about moments like that for years. You know what always was a weird little through line that I always wanted them to talk about? The fact that Malcolm and Grant went to sauna 4 years apart at each time. They never discuss that. And I get it. They're not really meant to like each other. I get that. I understand it. But that was one of the biggest. Every time I would watch the last part of the movie, because I was a child growing up, I knew that there was 2 movies coming. I'm like, these islands aren't done with you fellas yet. I don't know about you, Sadly. You're going to live a happy life. But it hurt me a little bit.
What I hate about Dr. Grant so much is that, well, I love Dr. Grant, but in Dominion...
we love him, but I know what you're about to say.
Of course, Dr. Grant, like,
he's Alan, I was like, Alan.
Movie, he just doesn't have the same morals that he does. Like, I know he says in Dominion, you can't study the dinosaurs in real life, like, the information is in the rock. But then throughout the film, he's, like, so excited about all these dinosaurs. Yes, he's excited about them in the first film.
But like, what about all this trauma he's had from dinosaurs?
He knows that
you know what? Lottie, you're absolutely right. But I was also going to build on that. I wouldn't even say that it's not that his morals have changed. It's kind of sad and it hurts me soul a bit because I reckon what the problem is that it's not that his morals have changed, not that his stance has really changed. Is that you're right? He's always, ever since Jurassic Park, and then when he comes back in Jurassic Park 3, he supposedly hates dinosaurs. Like he wrote a second book and he just doesn't like them anymore. I'm
Yep.
like, well, I get it, but they're also
Yeah.
stuck in your ways. I get it, but by the time we meet him in Dominion, which is 15 or something years after, 17 years after Jurassic Park 3.
It should be stewing.
Yeah, well, not only that, but bro, he's still static. Locked the poor bugger. He knows no better, and it's a more of a sad kind of tragedy because it's like you
Yeah.
know, Ellie was supposed to kind of be like his rock in the first movie, and she was, but then Jurassic Park 3 comes out. We don't have time to get into all that, but basically what it was is that what hurts me is that the 30 years worth of devotion this man has put into studying dinosaurs from the real world perspective, it never really gets the time to be utilized. Now, you may know that there is a moment from the concept art where Owen and Grant were supposed to come into contact with an accurate Pyroraptor. Now imagine the potential a scene could have where Grant has to put the 30 years and the 3 movies we had seen him in at that point, everything he had ever thought he's ever known about these creatures, from a company that has made quote unquote accurate dinosaurs to the best of the ability, so the most real ones to the real they were ever then. Imagine if he had to have a scene where he had to use everything he knew to try to survive that encounter. And it would all come full circle. It would all come full circle. And we didn't get that.
That's why you would get Grant and Ellie on board. Because these
It
are
really felt
real dinosaurs. They know how they
Ellie
are.
served
They
her
know
own
them.
role.
And Claire have only studied the dinosaurs
Ellie
that
served
they
her own
mutated.
role. But if you replace Grant with literally
anyone else, that's the
it
problem,
would
and it
not matter.
hurts me because you have such untapped potential that people have been waiting for years, and unfortunately, you do
I
nothing
just
with them.
think that the writers and the
That's
directors
right.
just didn't know the
They didn't know
characters
how to
well enough
use
to write them.
Well, yeah, and they couldn't, and I try to be as fair as I can, Lottie. I try to be as fair as I can, but like
Just
they
be like me
couldn't.
and let a rip and just hate on it.
That's why we like you. So no, like it's that. Like, how do you possibly stack up that much like expectation on your shoulders as a writer from a franchise that means so much to so many people since they were children? How do you possibly match up with that? Like, every one of us has an idea.
Responsibility.
That's right. It's the biggest responsibility to a fandom to be quote unquote ending the thing. And you remember, apparently, when he was making it, the reason it feels like this is because Colin Trevorrow, and we're not making excuses, but apparently Colin Trevorrow had no idea that this was supposed to be the quote unquote ending one until the marketing team came out and said it's the last one, it's the epic end of an era. And he's like, wait, what? It was a middle bridge. What do you mean? It's the ending. So it's actually meant to feel like this. It's the way people think about Star Wars.
That's another thing. That's another thing that I hate about the marketing for this film, is that they marketed it as the
conclusion
ending of the franchise.
That's exactly right, and it's not. It was supposed to be like a new
like
beginning.
Dinosaurs in the Wild, and that's what they showed in their trailers, in their promotional material. And it's like, yes, you can
don't show it at all.
Sort of false advertise your film so that audiences are still shocked by the film and don't just give everything away in the trailer. But not when the film is worse than what you've
worse than what you advertise, what you promised.
The trailer built way more.
Yeah, they fooled the audience. What I hate to say that we were fooled.
Tell us what you hate most, Lottie.
The film did do some talking of like how you're going to protect the dinosaurs. Like throughout the whole film, they showed dinosaurs killing people, eating people, which is really bad. And
really bad.
How they're abused in the selling world and things like that, the black market and things. And then right at the end, you have a shot of Ellie breaking a dinosaur, and she's like, "Oh well, guess we'll have to get used to this." People died.
No, it's not even that. You know what? That is one. You found the golden trigger. That's the one that gets me just at the end. Just at the end. Again, I actually didn't mind. Honestly, I know people have a problem. I didn't mind the whole. Like, because when I was watching it, like the clone stuff with like Maisie being a clone of her mum and stuff like that, that actually was interesting.
And then they undid the whole plot by saying
I'm aware. I'm aware. Trust me, girls. I'm aware.
I don't.
Like, why would they
I can understand that because that was the first bit of
she was like
just to change the plot for literally no reason.
Oh, for sure.
So it's weird because they were like,
and
she's a clone.
For sure.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
But then in Dominion,
but here's the thing.
Here's the thing. Actually, a clone.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'll
baby
try to
thing.
turn you around on this if possibly if I can. Okay, so for me, a retcon is something that obviously, but it damages what came before. But here's the thing. We were only told one thing, and technically she still is a clone. She's a clone of a single-celled organism, and she is grown naturally, right? So she's not like she was grown in a test tube or anything. She's not like one of these animals. But what it is that moment when I watched that, for me, I had no idea what a pathogen was, right? Like, I'm not a super science nerd. That actually taught
did
me
biology
something
A-level.
unique and interesting.
Oh,
It's
God.
not like they're just pulling crap out of their own bum and they're just doing stuff.
Yeah.
That actually taught me something, and I learned a little bit more from science from that. So that reminded me of the feeling I used to have when I watched the first Jurassic Park. It was when it was like science was interesting. Because where's the interesting science in Fallen Kingdom? To its credit, it's a gothic, beautiful tale. It's one of people's favorites. Where's the science in Fallen Kingdom? I don't know. It didn't have that, but people still love it. But here's the thing.
I love
What I was getting off track was that, like, the Maisie thing, and again, I'll never try to change your opinions on it, but like the Maisie thing to me only adds more context, and the reason why people get so upset about her being like a clone and the Lockwood didn't actually make her. Lockwood, they were like, oh, he was protecting your mother, because I was like, no, that actually makes sense, because what is the world as a judgmental state that we live in going to think when you learn that you cloned yourself? They're going to think that's an abomination, and
It's
the child will
actually
never be able to live a normal life. That's the true
sure
thing
there
that people
are,
don't think
Well,
about.
generally,
international
it
laws
is
against
illegal.
Yeah,
to
because
clone
it's
humans
all
like
based off of
that.
a real story. Yeah, the locust stuff, that's actually based off of real world information. It's a real military project, and in like the cloning thing, there's a real story about the CRISPR cloning technology that's been built in 2021. It was so fresh that Colin went out of his way to get these ideas in. And it does break my heart just a little bit that it's been so overshadowed by the fact that people just don't, it's not what people were wanting. But to me, if you're able to look at it just a little objectively, again, I'm not saying I'm for it. I'm not saying it belongs there, but it's the ideas behind it is interesting enough to the point where I don't want to just stick my nose up at it, if that makes sense. But that is just me. It's just because I was like, and again, it doesn't hurt. Like, here's the thing, because really, I got to ask all of you, everyone present, who here by the end of Fallen Kingdom really cared that much about Maisie to have her be such a plot point that really broke you're like, oh, this is ridiculous.
He
Like,
kind
she's
of felt
not
like
a
another
clone now.
character who tossed
I
in
got
there.
that. I don't think I really had a problem with the clone stuff. I thought
No.
Maisie as a character was just so flat.
I think
Yeah,
he was good in Dominion, though. I actually liked him.
Like,
no,
I
for
mean,
sure. And I am sorry for
he killed
dragging
a
us on
lot
the
of
side
people.
tangent real quick, but like the thing I was going to say was that I was on the same page as you. The thing that annoyed me as well was that, like you were saying just then about the ending, how all this movie happens and everything in the Biosyn Valley, it is kind of contained. And then by the ending, it's like it's showing a montage about how life has now managed to find equilibrium, and like the Mosasaurus is getting on with humpback whales, and the Sinoceratops is in Africa with elephants, and I'm like, what do you mean?
Humpback whales are the only
What?
source of food for that animal.
I was like, there ain't no way. That part actually, that was the one bit that I just didn't like when I'm on my first viewing. It took me multiple viewings to not like multiple things. That one, I was like, wait, what? Huh? And I don't know. That was it. So I agree with you. I would definitely agree with you there. I was like, I was not a fan of that last few shot ending there. I was like, that did kind of grind me.
Like, Japanese would just like hunt down. They would
Yeah.
like whale the mosasaur because
They
it's
wouldn't
like an
whale that
actual
thing,
threat.
bro. They would send the whole military after it,
or
bro.
Norway.
I'm sorry,
Genuine
it's
threat.
one creature. Yeah, that is, and you're right. That's an ecological like. Anyway, I'm so sorry. Back to you. You're here. This is your show. I want to know. So, what else did you not like?
Like killing the sorry. Like, killing the dinosaurs would have been about sacrifice. Like, the audience that watches Jurassic Park loves dinosaurs, and if they're around today, like, I would love dinosaurs. Like, I think. Anyway, I would
look, I would too. But it's like a crocodile snake. I wouldn't get near it.
Coming to terms with what's better for the world.
Climate change.
Like climate change, I guess. And it would have been about sacrificing the dinosaurs of your own like love for them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and that is interesting as well. You bring that up because remember, so I don't think have you ever read the book before, like the novel?
Yes,
I've read Jurassic Park, yeah, but not the last one.
So there's a whole section by the end of the book where Malcolm is speaking to Hammond about how like that we're terrified we're going to destroy the planet, right? And Malcolm is not concerned about that at all. Like we are, like you said earlier on, Lottie, we are a blip on the radar. We are nothing. We are absolutely nothing in terms of the planet. He literally says, I think the line goes, it's like, if we are gone tomorrow, the Earth will not miss us. And like that's the idea. And
Yeah.
then in Fallen Kingdom, they do kind of bring up that interesting idea. It's like, well, these creatures were here before us, and if we're not careful, they're going to be here after. That's not just a cool line for the trailer. Like you said, that actually works in your favor. You're right. Like they know that you're right. It was there. The warning was there. The message was ready to go for the next film. And you're right. It just kind of pivots. And you're right. You're absolutely right. It does not like
I
straight up
just
disappoint you, but it hurts you thinking about it after it, what it could have
Yeah.
been.
yeah,
You know?
I just think
Yeah.
the film missed out on so much
Yeah.
of what it could
Yeah,
have been.
like so much debate, like the first film had.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
like
because
the
you're right.
debate
That
in the
scene,
first film is the best
yeah,
part about that
Yeah.
that
film.
scene is
Every
the best
character had a different
part.
opinion.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like from the, I've seen so many of my people and my friends and like that I've messaged in real life. I'm like, what do you remember when you get to the? It's so strange because you think when you say like, what do you know about Jurassic Park? Yeah, sure, people say the T-Rex attack and the Gallimimus and sort of stuff. But so many like you probably like you guys, really intelligent people. Their favorite part of the movie is the debate scene, and I can play that
Yeah,
scene
that's my
in my
favourite
head.
scene too.
I can
Yes.
think of
And
every single.
remembering Petticoat Lane as well.
It's
Those
so
are my two
and
favourite
it's
scenes.
real, and you're right, and I want more of that. So I don't know if these new films when they're coming out are going to give us that, but
I
just
don't
you're
really know
right.
if they
It's
can
they
Yeah.
can't
I
though
feel
because
like
because
they
they're
want
going
their
because
already
they're
out.
going in a new
Yeah,
direction.
I don't know. You're right. I might be hoping for a bit too much there, but I'm so sorry. Back to you guys. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for Rebirth, my expectations are on the ground, especially after Dominion, and
Yeah.
I won't judge it. I won't
Okay.
start like even trailers probably
Right.
won't increase my
Hype gives you the
my
hype
hype
level.
for it.
Run you into
I
the
You're
cinemas.
still
only
excited
I
because
just
it's
need to
another
watch the
Jurassic
film.
movie.
That's right.
And
That's
speak
right.
for myself.
It's
Exactly
I
right.
can't make
that's about the
prejudgments
extent of it.
basically.
Yeah, no, I agree because and you're right. And like the thing is for me, guys, like this franchise to me is been like one of the longest running things of comfort in my life. Like whether
Oh yeah,
they're
that's
good or
true.
bad, you're right. It is all subjective and objective and everything like that. But the one thing we all agree on is that we love these movies, and whether they're good or bad, I am still going to see them. And whether,
Yeah,
like you
I
say,
mean,
whether I
one
get a
thing I will say about
yeah,
Dominion is I hate it, but I will respect the law.
that's right, exactly, and that's the best
The
part
thing
about
I
being a
fear
fan.
is that it will turn into what Marvel is, what Star
Well,
Wars is.
my
Yeah,
hope,
It's just
my
another
fear,
I just
another
don't
summer
think,
blockbuster.
yeah,
over
I
and
mean,
over and
I just
over again.
don't think it has
I
the
hear you.
same
No,
long-lasting
exactly, and that's why many
thing
people
that
say
it
that
could
this
have
should
for
never
like
have been a
that
series.
Marvel or Star Wars has. Like, there's
Yeah,
just
for
not
sure.
enough story there.
And now, sadly, nobody cares. You know, that's the sad thing about most
Yeah.
of Star Wars. I
It's
always
like,
see
well,
people always they start sandbagging straight away, and I'm like, guys, it's not that bad. They're like, nah, it's terrible. I'm like, oh,
Another like
interesting.
series. What they should do is release like a series, and just each episode is just like people being screwed up on the mainland by dinosaurs. It's just
Well,
that.
funny enough,
People
that
love
was
that.
That'd be
actually
really
my.
That's
cool.
what Chaos
Oh
Theory
my
is.
god, oh no, you just realized, you made me realize, bro. We just did a thing with Swerve and I didn't even pitch in my. Oh, damn it. It's all right.
Wait, what? What?
Oh, I just
Say it.
remembered
Say it right now.
Daniel challenged me. Oh my gosh, Daniel challenged me that. Okay, sorry, just a little bit. It's just hitting me. You're just right. You're right, Eric, mate. Yeah. So before we started doing all this sort of stuff, and before the Rebirth was ever announced, even Chaos Theory was announced, we had a little episode. We never aired it. It was somebody else, I think, because Daniel had a problem. Whatever happened, we ended up coming up with like ideas specifically retaining to with certain inquiries. We said, all right, it has to be set. Like, oh no, not when it's set. Sorry, it has to have this included to keep the audience hooked. It has to have this idea. How do you make an interesting movie? And you just said, Eric, like, why not like and I kept fighting against the idea of a prequel, girls, like going back to like Jurassic Park because it's nostalgia and everyone will bait that. But
Yeah,
you just said yeah, because I don't know what you just said, Eric, but what it was is that I pitched the idea of that, like, well, why don't you make a movie that you can have the thing. So when Scarlett Johansson was announced, I don't know if you guys have heard. Obviously, you've heard that.
yeah.
Scarlett Johansson was announced. I thought for a second that what they were going to do is that they were going to set it in the 90s, not be a Jurassic World movie, but another Jurassic Park movie to make it go return to form. There's a character named Bobby Carter in the novel. She's the first medic that like looks at the young boy who gets the raptor attack. I thought that she was going to do that, and it was going to be focused like on the mainland, just on the shore, just off this tiny little shanty town of like Costa Rica. There's no help, nowhere near. It's kind of like not like Predator, but it's like it's that. And what it is that in the book, the raptors, they're hatched, they're small, they get on the cargo ship and they get taken to the mainland. I was going to have it that you have one of, like, Bobby Carter starts investigating after we leave her in the book about what's going on in this story. She hears about stories of, like, the babies getting eaten by compies in the cribs, and you could have those horror scenes, and then you have on the boat the, like, getting taken back, which we kind of have in a way now with Chaos Theory season 2, and it's where, like, a one, like, adult raptor and, like, 3 babies are, like, on this boat, and, like, they're, like, hiding between containers and stuff like that, and these guys have no idea these things are
I
here.
was so
It
thinking
could
about
be
that bit.
so, you could
Chaos
do something,
Theory.
and then when they get to the mainland, Bobby hears about, like, people getting attacked, and it's 3 years later, so it's after Jurassic Park. And remember, everyone, the public do not know about dinosaurs until the 1997 incident in Lost World where the T-Rex runs around. They actually don't know.
Yeah.
So Bobby has no idea. She's just hearing about something, because what do they call it, Eric, in the book?
Well, isn't
They
it
call
a bit
the Upia.
before then? Because Malcolm
Yeah,
talks about it with
1993.
American
Yeah.
India.
He does try to talk about it, but nobody believes him. That's why when she hears the talk
Right.
about these claw marks and stuff, and she's thinking about it, but the Costa Ricans, they're very superstitious. So it's like they think it's this thing called the
Yeah.
upia, whatever it was. Yeah, from the book, like, it's
Yeah.
like, do not say this word, doctor. This bad smell and all this stuff. So you could have such an interesting premise,
Yeah.
and it's self-contained. It's one
Yeah.
location, one
Yeah, yeah.
character.
And they could have had a more mature approach to it
Heck
as well.
yeah, because it's like, it's part murder mystery. She has to find out what's going on, and she finds out these things are there. She's trapped, and she has to escape to get help and tell somebody. And, like, they're in this little town. And when they said Jurassic City as, like, a leak, I was, like, dead
You
certain.
thought it was going to be that.
I thought this is what they were
Oh,
doing, and
wow.
then I hear they're doing all this other stuff with the Mayan temples, and I'm like, cool, still, that's cool. But, like, I was like, damn, you had it. You could have had
Missed
her as
opportunity.
Bobby Carter, and she's a young doctor. You have her in the whatever outfit. You know what I
Because I
mean? Like,
think
I
even
thought
though
that
she
was
was
gonna
only
go.
at the start, I think she's one of the most loved characters in the whole novel.
Well, that's it. She's technically the first one before the movie ever came out. She's who you're introduced to at the very beginning of the book. But anyway, that's just me. And I'm just sorry. I'm so riled up because I just realized I had a chance to talk to Swerve about this,
Oh,
and we missed it.
it would have been so impressed.
It's all right. We'll save that for next time. I'm so sorry. I'm very sleep deprived. So sorry. Back to you guys.
So
Yes,
this-
you're right. You're absolutely right. To your credit,
You asked
everyone's
me
credit.
this.
You're right. It works.
A while back, Jack. I don't
Tell
know
me,
if this
bro.
was the first time I was on y'all's podcast or if you were on my podcast
Maybe,
or
bro.
whatever, yada yada yada.
We're
some
young and old,
experience.
bro. We're young and old. These ones over here
You
keeping
know
us
what
young.
I mean.
keeping us
You know what I
in
mean.
the know.
You asked me if you had complete creative liberty.
Great, complete directive control of every aspect of the film. What could you
of-
possibly create? And
Of
that's
a
right.
film. It doesn't have to be like oh, you're reworking Dominion or you're reworking
No.
Fallen Kingdom, whatever.
No. You have
What
the
would your
reins.
film be?
Yeah, and you could do it at any point. So you're asking me. You're asking me, bro. No. You're asking them. Who are you asking?
I'm asking them. I don't care.
Yeah, no, them, bro.
That's
Dude, don't talk to me. Yeah, bro. No.
I'm
Talk to
asking
them.
them.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
your
you-
movie.
You
Your
two go take name like maybe like
Yeah.
a character and like the main character or something.
Yeah,
maybe
come
some
up with a
dinosaurs, and then
character.
just
So
give like
this
a
is how it
base
works. A
synopsis of the
character,
plot.
a character, a setting in the world, a time, a year for it, and at least 2 different dinosaurs that should feature that would be your favorite. So it could be herbivore, carnivore,
So do you
whatever you want.
If
This
you
is what
want,
you
I
get
can
to
go,
do.
me or Jack can go first. If you
Yeah,
want.
I think I have an idea.
Okay, go on, hit it.
A very, very loose idea. But you know how in every single film
Hmm.
and TV show or whatever that's come out from the Jurassic franchise, there's always one character, usually the main character, who knows dinosaurs and knows everything about dinosaurs and like tells
fair
like nonchalantly tells the audience what
He
the
just knows
dinosaur
every
is,
fact
how to
ever known
survive
about
it.
these things
What
that
if
no
you've
one's
got a
alive.
group of characters that know nothing about
Nothing
dinosaurs?
about it. That's already
They know,
okay.
like,
That's
the
actually really good.
basics.
Oh,
And
just
so
a bunch
they're
of people, just
They're just completely
like office
they
workers,
don't know
just office
anything.
guys. They have no experience at all, no survival skills, no nothing, and you got to try to root for them. You're like,
Yeah.
no, I actually like them.
Oh,
Okay, here's
yeah.
a
That's what's
really
great
weird
about
comparison. So I'm
Yeah,
so sorry,
go
sorry to interrupt you, Lottie. I was just gonna say, here's a really weird comparison. Could you imagine? Some reason, some now. You guys have seen a TV show called Ted Lasso, right? You know of it. You've heard of it.
my
We haven't
parents have
seen
watched
it,
I know of it.
It's all right. It's all right. I just
Yeah.
started watching it myself tonight. So basically, this fellow is the nicest football coach in the world, right? He's so nice.
Yeah.
He comes from like the south of, and he comes over to England where everyone's all snobby and stuff like that. Could you imagine if a fellow like that, so nice, so naive, so sweet, gets plopped in the middle of what you're about to suggest? How do you think that's going to go for him? But you like him so much because he's so earnest and he's so kind that you're like, please don't let anything happen to him. I really like him. Please don't let him die. And you're rooting for him, and you're actually scared for him
Yeah.
for different reasons. Not because you think he's a cool and he's a badass, but because you're like, I actually care. It builds a connection immediately. You know what I
He's
mean?
just kind of like just a nice
Yeah,
dude.
I
Like
mean,
have like
He's
I'd
just a
say
someone
nice
he's
guy.
genuine.
Maybe he has a
funny.
family or
He's
something,
sweet.
and that and you actually see his family like in a photo or something, and he's like, "This is what I have to get back to," and not like in a super cliche way, but he's like he's like the last recording, and then his phone cuts out, and you're
Yeah,
like, "Oh
I
my god, the
mean,
kids are scared for him," you know?
yeah.
I was like,
I
"Oh
mean,
no."
that sort of starts to feel like Alien then, doesn't it? Because they
Mm,
have no idea what that creature is, and they're just like
that's
they're
it.
just
That's
on
it.
that ship, like
I knew I didn't say Predator.
deserting, and
Thank
then
you.
they come
That's
across
exactly
a
what it
Ellie
is.
deadly
Sattler.
pet. You could have something like
Yeah.
that.
Ellie Sattler,
Beautiful.
Alan Grant, Jurassic Park 3 moment.
Oh yes.
It's just
Oh
like,
yes.
oh crap, he's dead. It's like,
Hello, the
Oh my gosh,
river,
yeah.
side B. Damn, I love it. Sorry. So we interrupted you.
Love Jurassic
So
Park, great,
dinosaur
honestly.
premise, character name. What have you got for us? I'm excited. I'm
who's going
excited. No
first?
pressure.
Okay,
Well, probably Lottie.
premise could be you could go for this. Well, I think my favorite genre that comes out of the Jurassic franchise is gothic horror. So you have
Ooh,
that with um,
Fallen
Fallen
King.
Kingdom. You have that one episode in season 3,
Mm-hmm.
episode 2 of Camp Cretaceous, where
Oh
they're in the
yes.
crates and it's the Tyrannosaurus. And then it looks
Yeah.
like you're going to have
Wow.
that again with the Majungasaurus on the
Oh
very
my
first
god, I'm
trailer.
so excited for that.
Sort of
I
gothic
cannot do this stress.
horror type
Yeah, like when
I
genre
it's
and
have just a
theme.
dark and
story for you.
claustrophobic.
That would be my genre
Oh.
for this film.
Right. Okay. All right. All
Um,
right. What's your
and
character
then,
like?
I don't know. Well, number
It's a
one,
little
they
on the
don't know
spot. It's a
anything
little on the
about
spot.
dinosaurs,
Okay,
and
that's
they're
good.
just
That's good.
regular people. But they have like
Right.
struggles and problems and stuff, and that's how you care
Yeah, they
about them.
feel more real because like
Um,
they have anxiety. What if
yeah.
they have like panic attacks and stuff like that? Like a normal
Oh,
person would
yeah.
have. Could you imagine that? You're all on your
Yeah.
own. There's no one to help you.
So, like, yeah, just what if they have characteristics that like sort of
Juxtapose.
juxtapose this
I'm on it.
the sort of qualities that characters in the Jurassic franchise usually
Yeah,
have
like because
that
in
help them
every
against the
in
dinosaurs.
every
Like,
movie
what
so
if they
far, I
have
think it's Mhm.
problems that just make it so much harder for them to
Yeah.
survive the dinosaurs?
That's it, because in
No.
every single movie so far, Lottie, we've had a paramilitary guy all the way up until Dominion. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I didn't know there's that trend. We have Muldoon, we have Tembo, we have the was it Udesky, we have
Well,
Vic
no, no, no,
Hoskins,
no,
and then
no.
we
You
have the
have
other
the
fella.
literal Marines in Jurassic Park 3.
And the literal Marines in Jurassic Park 3. Yeah, you got all that, and then you got Vic Hoskins, and then you got that I can't remember, Ken Wheatley. You got a paramilitary guy and everyone. So your movie would not have a paramilitary guy. It would just be like an office worker, just be a normal guy.
Yeah,
That,
yeah,
that can
literally.
work. All right, you
Yeah.
gotta give us the meat. You gotta give us the meat and potatoes here.
I
What?
that
Yep.
would
What
that would
dinosaurs
also
are you bringing in?
Jack. Yeah, okay.
Got it.
With that plot, you could also bring back that like raw fear of death that first film had, just like Alien has a lot of like it just makes you fear death like nothing else. And I feel like the Jurassic World films miss out on that a lot of that fear, because you see everyone die left, right, and center, and they just get chopped up, and it's like, okay, you've seen it a million times before. But if you could
Yeah.
do something new and cool with it, that makes you like horrified.
I think
Yeah.
they could have built off the whole paleo accuracy in Dominion. That would be an interesting. So there are people that know these old facts. They're like, oh, the T-Rex can't see us if it don't move, but it's like a paleo accurate one, so it just can.
Paleo accurate, T-Rex would be
So
amazing.
it's just like they're like it
So
can't see
all
us
that they
and
know,
it just keeps running at them. And they're like,
yeah.
what
So
do we do?
all that they know about the fake dinosaurs is like just completely goes out the window with these new ones.
Yeah, something like that.
That would be interesting. Yeah, like a kind of a rendition, like being better than the past or something. I like that. No, I actually really like that. Wow. Oh, okay. Well. You've answered my
And the
question.
dinosaur would
Despite
have
what
the
Jurassic Park says.
Allosaurus. And then you gotta
Yeah.
get those cuties in there. You gotta have the Scansorioptics and maybe Archaeopteryx and just some
Yeah,
classic
no, that's good.
dinosaurs that we haven't seen in the Jurassic franchise yet,
Okay.
Like the
And do you
little guys
also?
that get missed out.
No, that's all
Yeah.
right. That's really good. Wow.
Hmm.
No, you left me kind of speechless. Shocker.
My
All
gosh.
right,
I like
so
it.
First time ever.
Oh, high achievement. That's
Sorry, I'm
okay.
being mean now.
next one. Next
Nah,
one.
you're good. That's okay. So, yeah. So do you have any other ideas as well? For I just realized, are we allowed to say names? I just realized. Yeah. Do you have anything? Yeah. Yeah.
She's like, I'm already here.
She's like, bro, I've been here, bro. They can see my face. I'm sorry. So yeah, okay. There is. So do you?
Clone woman. Do you have any?
Yeah. Clone girl out here. Like, would you like? Do you have any ideas
Okay,
for
so
like a movie as well?
I'm the original, am I?
Oh, you're the original. Oh, gotcha. Copy. So,
Yeah.
all right. So Isabel, do you have any ideas for your own movie? Does your movie similar to what Lottie's would be, or would you have a different one? Would you just have like a sunny beach in Hawaii? Like, even though it's all filmed in Hawaii, so you could just save on costs. Like, would you just have it in Hawaii, and would you do it like? Not like a spoof movie or something like that, but would you do it like some kid find like it's like maybe it's like a like a old Yeller sort of movie, right? Like you have like you find a kid finds a dinosaur washed up, it's ill on the beach, it like jumped off a boat or something, and it nurses it back to health, like a little one, and then it becomes like a guard dog as it grows up, sort of like that, and then eventually
she's
like something like that.
You. She's looking at you, and she's gonna be like, "That's the stupidest crap I've ever heard." No.
Hey man, it's a pitch, bro. It's a pitch, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
is our faces
bro.
revealing everything?
Oh, for sure. She's like, not for me. Sorry. No, but well, then, what would you do if you were in the driver's seat? Would you wonder?
Well, I liked your idea of using the start of the book.
Start of the book.
Using the start of the book as a plot. I like that. Yeah. I
wouldn't base it on an island. I would put it right smack bang in the center of like Africa or America or Russia.
Nah, you can't do Russia.
But there's
Russia's
no
too bad.
sea in sight, you know.
Can't go to Russia.
Oh. Well, if it's like 1990s, then oh wait, no, that's
you could do like
Cold War's on. That could be interesting.
Cold War was like 19. That was just after the World War II, wasn't it? So not quite 19.
Well, that's all right.
You could still do like Finland, Sweden, or Norway, and have that like Siberian look.
Yeah,
Sweden,
like the mountainous areas with the snow.
Or you can just say Canada.
Yeah, Canada's safe. It's a nice place.
You know my
Yeah, that adds to your theory about all these nice people.
I was just about to say, could you imagine they're just hiking and they're like, oh, what's that over there, eh? And they just don't know what to do. That's what you nice people.
Blood, full realistic T-Rex.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. I would love that movie, actually. Oh, that's really good.
All right, Jack. Well, I guess since you're here, do you want to share one of your numerous?
Oh, not at all, brother. Not at all. These girls don't have another hour in it, man. We're not doing that now. I can see a bird flapping outside my window, bro. It's been up for so long, this sun. We don't have time in the day for me to start yapping on, bro. We are, I know. Once you get me going, I will not stop. So you know what? Nah, bro. I reckon we're almost ready to sort of wrap her up here, bro. Because they got to get to bed. You got to get to bed, bro. I can see that. I've been keeping an eye on your son there, bro. It's going down, bro. You're running out of time, man. So go on. What else do you got?
Yes. I don't even.
Yeah, bro. What are the final thoughts you got there, bro?
Yeah, it's almost 5 o'clock for me. So I guess any final thoughts?
You started this at like 12. Oh my god.
Wait, 5 in the
morning. It's
crazy. We go for only like 5 hours. It's fine. Any
final
thoughts?
We were on for 5 hours last time, actually.
Yeah, we were. That's what I was saying. That's it, all of this, all together. So yeah, I'm like, these girls gotta go. They got stuff they gotta do.
By the way,
from now on, gonna be like.
You're both being incredibly polite, by the way. You're being incredibly polite and appearing on our little pods and stuff. We do appreciate you for that. But
by the way, if either of y'all ever want to hear any crazy dumb stories, just shoot us a text. We will.
He's got them. Don't worry. We'll bring them both back on next time, bro. We'll be ready for it.
we will just like hop on a thing and just talk.
We'll have more than like 4 hours sleep. We'll be great. We'll be ready to go.
Right. So, I guess.
All right. So,
final thoughts from either of you.
All right. Here's the last closing question for you. Are you at least excited for the potential of what season 2 of Chaos Theory is going to give us coming up very soon?
Yeah, totally. I don't think I have any doubt in the writers for season 2. I completely trust them to write an amazing story.
Awesome.
And I'm just really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice. You know what? No, same here. I'm so looking forward to it. No, don't start again. Okay, Eric, roll us out, brother.
All right. So you know where to find them. I don't know. Link them.
I don't think they do. I don't think anyone knows how to find them at all.
Find me. Unfortunately, you won't be able to find Isabel.
I'll show your Instagram or something.
She's like, bro, I don't have Instagram. Yeah,
if you want. Those are DMs.
This is how he does. This is how he does it here.
It's
So-
gonna take me a second. So, Jack, ask him another question. Stall for me.
What? What now? You want me to talk? Oh, come on!
Do something.
Okay,
Be
looks like
Do
we're moving on
something.
now.
Oh God! All right, okay.
I'm kidding.
No,
I'm just
I
kidding.
don't have any-
Jack.
I was like, bro, I brought
you
you
wanna
all in today,
find-
you legends, because I haven't got nothing left.
If you want to find her
Hey,
on
that's
Instagram,
me.
holy crap, this is 100
Hey, there
likes.
we go.
I like how just
Ooh.
Cato
What
is
has
just
100
100
likes?
likes in the
Oh,
comments.
I thought she got a new 100 likes. I was like, dude, come on. We haven't
Oh,
even
wait,
posted.
I don't. Oh.
No, I know he got
No,
excited. I got
that
excited
that was
too.
me. That was me. My bad.
Nah, don't
So
worry.
if
I'm
you
gonna
want to
send
go
this.
see
I'm
her
gonna
on
send this to them.
Instagram, go check her out. Go.
Oh, yep.
I don't know.
And there
text
she is
her.
over there.
I don't know.
We're,
Don't do
we're
that.
ve-
That's kind of
I don't know. I don't know if you girls know this. We're very bad at outros, both of us. We're very bad. We don't know how to do it.
Speak for yourself. I'm fine.
I'm speaking for myself. Daniel handles it every time.
If you want to find me, you can find me on Prehistoric Life Podcast. Close that real quick on Instagram. From there, you can actually use the link in my bio. You can get to my YouTube and my account, or get to my YouTube and my website, prehistoriclifepodcast.com. From there, you can get to my YouTube and my Instagram. Now that we're done, I'm your host, Eric Crawford, signing off. This has been Prehistoric Life Podcast. She's here. He's
I'm
here
still
too.
here. You can't get rid of me.
Good,
You
good
can't get rid of
chat.
me, bro.
Good chat.
Keep it
Thanks,
prehistoric.
Eric.
Signing off. Bye.
Peace. That's great.
All right, and
Yeah,
now we
yeah.
have the behind-the-scenes footage, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Oh, I wouldn't even call it behind the scenes, bro. I'd call it.
This
I'd
is where we're
call it
gonna like fall apart and
This
not
is,
actually talk about content.
Oh, you're not
this is
wrong
our
about that.
post-credit thing.
No, that's all right. Well, listen, hey, I'm gonna make what I call a tactical retreat. So I'm just gonna say, what a night that was. Oh my god.
Mm.
No,
You
look, thank
had
you
You've
so
had one
much.
hell of a
Good.
day, mate.
No, look, hey, I'm more than fine. The worst part is I see the sunlight outside. I'm just like, well, it's already here and it's another day. I might as well just stay up again.
I usually just have to sit in
I'll be
silence for
filming
half a
through the
minute, so
night.
it's a lot
That's
better after you actually
right.
stay.
That's right. I'll be like, why did you
Then
guys
have the
message me? You'll be
tables
like, bro, we're
returned.
asleep. Leave us alone. We're asleep. You go to
Oh,
bed.
I
I'll be
will
like,
message you.
oh,
I
tackle me
will
with a good time.
message you.
Tackle me with a good time, bro. All right. So no. Well, look, no, it's all right. Look,
He's
thank
going
you.
to
Honestly,
sleep. He's got another interview with me tomorrow.
I do.
Really?
I do. What do
I'm
you
getting
mean I
my
have?
official interview on y'all's channel.
For what? What for what, bro? Did I miss a
can just
memo?
appear.
You can. You can, bruv. You just get to walk in, bro. That's why I gave you the channel keys. You can just walk
Yeah.
in. Same deal for you now, Lottie. You. Again, I'm telling you. Oh, yeah. Because Lottie,
I'll tell you what, I love this hat, but it's got no breeze.
no, you poor
I'm like
bugger.
sweating up
Lottie,
a
So
storm.
good to see you without the
Lottie,
hat,
lovely.
man.
When is obviously I'm not going to chase you up tomorrow. You need more than a day's worth of retirement time. Like you've done so
Discuss
much.
that later. We're still technically
my
recording.
I know.
Yeah.
You've done so much good work here. You really have. So honestly,
Aw, thank you.
thank you so much. Honestly, for the last 48 hours of the 72 have been wonderful. What I was just gonna say, because I haven't been asleep. What I was gonna say is, so when are you like available? Would you say to jump on podcast? Don't say tomorrow, because I'll do more of a
He
day
won't
than
be
that.
alive tomorrow.
Yeah, probably
Oh,
not.
no, I'm actually busy tomorrow.
No, that's
I'm
all good.
actually
That's
busy
all right.
tomorrow.
Wait, right? No. We're gonna give you a break. We're gonna give you the break that you need. So,
One
but
day
I will
break
talk.
is all I get.
Girl, it's your holiday. It's your 1 day of annual leave. Sign that non-existent contract. Okay. Oh my god.
You ready to
So
actually sign this crap off real quick?
I am, bro. I don't know why you're still rolling the camera, bro. This is all
Take a look.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
Keep this stuff.
Hey,
Keep this on
sponsor.
YouTube, bro. I
Hey,
will
sponsor, make
smack
yourself
you.
useful. Hey,
Yeah,
sponsor,
for
make yourself
sure.
useful.
Thanks, Podcast Eric. Now let's talk about today's sponsor, Dinosaur Trips. If you love looking at these amazing creatures that I show you and even talking about these amazing creatures that I talk about, and you want to go see them in real life, I heavily suggest you look at Dinosaur Trips. Dinosaur Trips, created by Zach, gives you behind the scenes in look at museums, and he even takes people out to digs. So if you sound interested in that, go to www.dinosaurtrips.com and tell them that Prehistoric Life sent you, and they will give you $250 off your tickets. And here's their Instagram if you're interested in giving them a follow.
Wow.
That was so
Majestic.
cute.
That was sweet. Majestic.